Today's lecture will be discussing the ways you can improve the productivity of your employees. We're talking about the different ways you can improve the productivity of your employees, the different ways you can improve the productivity of your employees. Your host, Taiwo Ashaolu, I'll be talking to you about how you can improve the productivity of your employees. One thing you need to know is that it has been projected that over 60% of workers at blue chip organizations, in different organizations, only 60% are projected to be productive. And this is due to various factors, factors ranging from employee absenteeism, factors ranging from situations that is beyond the organization, factors ranging from staff staff turnover, high staff turnover, and so much and others. What I want you to know is that employees can be productive. Employees can be productive, and there are different ways the employees can be productive. There are different ways the employees can be productive. One thing I need you to know is that employee engagement is important for employees to be productive. Before I even go further, I'd like to even say that we need to even understand what makes up an employee to be productive. What is employee productivity? What is employee productive? Because this is important for what we are talking about today. So today, employee productivity, for us to really understand how employee productivity works. Employee productivity is the engine on which a business thrives. So the employee productivity is the engine on which a business thrives. Put simply, it's a measure of how much work an employee is able to deliver within a specific time frame. So what I mean is that if you have employee A and it resumes by 8:30, and when it is 9, you can measure the kind of work the employee has put into the service of the organization. Is measurable. That's what we're talking about, productivity. And there are different ways we can measure the productivity of an employee. And if an employee is productive, it means that the engine with the business is sitting is on a solid foundation. The engine with the business is sitting is on a solid foundation. Don't forget what I said, that employee productivity is the engine on which a business thrives. So when your employees are productive, it's going to have an huge impact on your business, on your downline, on your revenue. When your employees are not productive, you begin to see noticeable changes. You begin to see noticeable lapses in your revenue line. And that's where the problems comes, because don't forget that when an employee is not productive, it can also be contagious. An employee who is not productive can also affect the morale of other staffs. Have you heard that? Employee productivity is also contagious. Are you aware of that? I need you to know that employee productivity is also very, very contagious, meaning that it's important you get all your staffs on board. It's important you get your staffs to know what the vision is. What's the vision statement? What's the mission statement? What are your employees' expected deliverables? They need to know what the expected deliverables are, and they now need to know what are the likely ways I can increase, and meet up with my deliverables in the specific time frame I've been given, because this is what is important, because when this is not known, then you will not blame an employee who is not productive, an employee that comes in tired due to traffic, an employee that maybe for some reason or the other they have personal problems they are dealing with. You're going to have mechanisms that deals with the employees' hassles, with the hassles and baggages the employees have. Only then can you begin to measure your productivity, or even measure their productivity. Sometimes because of the environment we find ourselves, we see that employees want to do their best, but for some reason or the other, their best is not good enough. So like I was saying, employee productivity is the engine on which a business thrives. Also, it's a measure of how much work an employee delivers within a specific time frame. Don't forget what I said. the specific time frame. There's a time frame for an employee to deliver. There's a time frame for an employee to get the business done. There's a time frame that is expected for the employee to, be able to meet their targets. Because the reasons why we set target is so that we can measure our progress, so that we can measure how we are doing on the business. We know when you have a business and you are not able to set targets, clear targets, what expected deliverables, this expected time frames, it means that you can't measure. And if you can't measure, you can't really know how the business is faring. And that's what is important. We need to do diagnosis of a business time, day in, day out. And that's only when we can begin to know, okay, these are the lapses we are noticing in this area, these are the lapses we are noticing in this area, and we begin to make amends and marshal resources together to ensure that those noticeable lapses we're able to cover for them. So what that means is that at this point in time, I would like to say that if you're going to measure your employees' productivity, you're gonna have to put those things in place, which is what I said. Putting employees, getting them motivated is important. Getting them to know what is the vision statement of the business, what is the mission statement of the business, what are the core values of the business. They need to know, because when they know these important things, these little details, it makes them see the urgency, it makes them see the need to be part of the system, to be part of the process that is making that business productive. And when they are now part of that process, it then means that they can take ownership for the business, for the success of the business. So by the time, so what I'm trying to say is that some of these things is an art. Some of these things you can do a plug and play. It can be a plug and play scenario, and by doing that, you're going to see noticeable differences in your business. Till I come your way again, it's not over until you win. Bye for now.